Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Doctor Who Reviews, and this week we are tackling the Mother Lode. This is the War Games, or rather, parts 1 to 5 of the War Games because it's so damn beefy. And to talk about the beef with me, I'm joined by two usual co-hosts. Firstly, to my virtual left, you, who are without mirrors, now plead for them? It's Freezing Inferno.
Hey, I'm a virtual YouTuber now. That was the thing. Oh wait, we put it in the episode. Yes,
I did, yeah. I was told to put it in post-production, so I put it in post-production.
You sure did.
I listened to instructions here.
Yes.
Well, obviously not, because where's my $100?
You took advantage of an audio glitch. That doesn't count.
It totally counts. Fuck! I dropped my yarn ball.
Your Honour, I refer to Captain Coronating's statement. So,
what did you make of that reveal? You two?
Pretty good. I love that avatar.
He's so good.
And to my virtual right, just call her our cowgirl in the sand. It's Cat.
Please don't, because sand is horrible. It's dry, it's coarse, it gets everywhere.
Yet you moved to the desert.
It was a Neil Young reference, but whatever.
Yes, I did move to the desert. I already regret it.
Like I said, I thought I was being clever because it's a Neil Young reference, and you moved to the desert.
Yes. Chris, that was a joke. I do not regret moving here for real.
Aww. So the War Games.
The War Games.
What a fucking landmark in hindsight. The 50th Doctor Who story, the final Patrick Troughton story, the final black and white story of the classic series. And it does introduce some things that would go on to shape future canon, but for now, we're not going to focus on that aspect of the story. We're just going to focus on what we're presented with here, because we're talking about the first 5 episodes.
Yeah.
A nice little 2-hour chunk of the story. So, why don't we get into that?
Let's do that. Beginning with holy seizure-inducing credits, Batman.
Yeah.
What motherfucker designed these? Because in the front of every single episode, there is this thing that says, the War Games, and it seems fine. But then the bombs start up, and you hear, gunfire and all that, and it has a strobing effect. So, warning to anyone who might be, have epilepsy or something, seizure warning.
In 1969, they were still using lead paint. They didn't give a shit.
In 1969, I'm pretty sure seizures didn't exist yet. As in, they had no medical diagnosis of it. And they just assumed that people were having fits.
And
As we all know, seizures were invented in 1996 when Pikachu went ape shit.
I appreciate that reference.
Oh, we shouldn't laugh. We shouldn't laugh, but it is funny.
They're okay now.
Porygon did nothing wrong. Pikachu was the real culprit.
Justice for our Pixel Duck!
Free the virtual world too. So...
What? I play Virtual World and Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, available now on PC and consoles.
Free. Fight me.
I am still ducking you. Not you, Cat, but... I can barely win the solo duels with a pre-prepared deck. I've got no chance online.
And meanwhile, you're looking at me like, level 9 exceeds monster?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
While I was fiddling around Julius for 3 years, the game changed.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's still Blue Eyes. There's still Blue Eyes being bullshit. So.
Unfortunately.
Yes, I've been told basically I cannot use a Blue Eyes deck, so I'm going to go with something else.
Hey, people who are out there, it's just a children's card game. You don't have to min-max every single little fucking thing. That's all it is.
If it's just a children's card game, why have you threatened me to not use a Blue Eyes deck?
Because Blue Eyes are bullshit.
Oh, believe me, there is far more than that.
Brainiac, build a God card deck.
I will fucking kill you.
But the God cards are terrible.
Yeah, the cat hates them, so I was trolling.
Like, don't get me wrong. If you want to play the game like that, okay, fine, whatever. But don't do it every single fucking person. I mean, seriously. I had 5 battles in a row where I swear to God it was the exact same deck every single time. Probably wasn't, but it still felt like it.
Kat, welcome to the Duel Links experience.
I played Duel Links. I know what it was like.
So, starting the war games after an epilepsy-inducing title screen.
Mud.
Mud.
Mud, glorious mud. This is like the most unnatural reaction to stepping in mud I've ever seen. The TARDIS arrives in the middle of a battlefield. They all step out in mud. They start laughing about it.
Oh boy.
They don't go, oh my god, my clothes are ruined. I'll never be able to wear this outfit again.
So, the TARDIS crew, by the way, Second Doctor, Jamie McCrimmon, Zoe Harriet. We've seen them before in the Mind Robber.
The Mind Robber cast.
Check the Mind Robber episode, and Kat is going to tweet the Minotaur again for the 40th time on Doctor Who Reviews.
I think she has it
Who
set
says
up.
I have to do anything?
I think she has it set up to automatically tweet out every certain day of a month.
Yeah.
No, not every Sunday. It's a little bit more nuanced.
Every
than that.
certain day of the month, I said.
Oh, I thought you said every Sunday.
No.
Maybe if you learn to speak English, then I can understand you.
Try speaking American then.
Well, you would know how to do that, wouldn't you?
It's your natural language.
Speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh references. Speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh references. What? Oblivious me? Nah. So.
Where's the TARDIS landed this time?
In the middle of World War One.
Alien planet? Oh, it's World War One. Oh, great.
They nearly get blown up by artillery about 3 minutes into the episode.
Oh, hey, look! It's Mark Gatiss and Toby Whithouse. Just off on the side.
Sadly, no.
In the back. Just off screen.
There's a reason why they're not in this.
Clara riding around.
Oh, God, could you imagine Clara in like an ambulance? Driving an ambulance just into the middle of a war zone?
I can now, and I love it.
Here's the fun thing. What if it is?
Well, no.
You never know.
I can
But
now,
sometimes
and I love
we do.
it.
But sometimes we
Could
do.
be wearing a perception filter so that, it doesn't break the timeline, but making them wonder who this girl is that they keep seeing.
But sometimes you know and it isn't her. So, speaking of the girl then, we meet an interesting guest character, Jennifer. She's just referred to as... In fact, she's even referred to by name at this point, but she turns up in an ambulance. She's going to Eep. My phone just went off. She's going to Eep. And no sooner has she said this to the doctor that she's captured by German soldiers. Oops.
I'm just going to say this. All kudos to the actress. I think she did a pretty damn good job. Except for this scene. This is the flattest scene I have ever seen.
Yeah, maybe she...
No sooner.
Maybe it was her first scene, but she had to get warmed up to the character. But yeah, this is quite flat.
But no sooner have the Germans captured them than the British capture them back.
Yes, well, they don't capture, they rescue them, and then they capture the German soldiers.
Well,
Hey, I said no tag backs. You're not allowed to do that.
I don't think that works in the middle of a war zone.
Well, only if you don't let it work.
Anyway, upshot is that everyone's being taken back to the British trenches by, is it Carstairs at this point? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
We'll see if he's going with Carstairs a bit later on, but for now he's just an army, I'm going to say captain.
Lieutenant?
Lieutenant, that's right. Yes.
If you want to be like that.
You can say lieutenant, but I will say lieutenant.
I wonder what etymological I can word. I wonder what the the word difference is. I can't fucking say that word for some reason. I wonder what the difference is, but why we say lieutenant, y'all say lieutenant.
I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
Because the British absolutely want to be right, so they say left.
Hang the fuck. I'm saying this word right on the podcast.
Okay.
The etymology
Yeah.
of the words.
Just be careful you don't get etymology and entomology confused.
Yeah.
Because one's to do with words and one's to do with insects.
Yes.
Insert spelling bee joke here. So.
Okay, that's good.
So, Carstairs has saved the trio, but they're not out of the woods yet.
Far from it.
Then the Doctor gets his head taken off by gunfire. In the middle of World War One, and you stick your head above the trenches, something bad is bound to happen.
Yeah.
This moment is certainly a choice by the writers. Oh, we're just going to get back to our TARDIS. Oh my god. So they can't go back to the TARDIS, basically. This is just a way to cut them off from their vehicle. Instead, they go to see the Major. And I'm not referring to a former British Prime Minister called John Major. No, the actual Major is Barrington, I think.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
But something
And of course, next to him, he has his minor.
Damn.
We're just on fire with the puns today.
So,
It's okay. It's the minor fourth, the major lift.
Hallelujah. So the...
Damn it!
So something odd is going on because these soldiers are talking to each other in the trenches and they don't seem to know how long they've been fighting the enemy for.
Curious.
I mean, it is war. I mean...
Yeah, but it seems to be a bit more than just war.
War. What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing. But then...
It's good for you. It's good for me.
Really? Really? So...
I like Sam and Max. Screw you.
We then meet our... I'm not having a go for liking Sam and Max. I'm just saying really. So... we meet our primary antagonist for the first couple of parts anyway. General Mutton Chops.
God.
This man's facial hair is an event.
Yeah. Yeah.
This man's facial hair is almost a character unto itself. Anyway, it's General Smythe.
Yeah.
So he is the superior of the British soldiers, supposedly.
Supposedly. And
do you know there's something odd was going on with the soldiers? Well, something odd was going on with Smythe because he goes into a back room, he pulls a painting out, and behind it is a video screen.
Well, before that, yeah, he's about to do it, and then one of his underlings comes in, and he gets really pissed off, and he's like, because they were getting him tea, so a guy comes in with a cup of tea for him, and he's like, "How dare you come in here without knocking? Don't ever come in here without knocking again! Get out!"
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it is his private room, so at the very least, it kind of makes sense. Also, I heard that, Rain.
What?
I heard that.
You heard that?
Get out of my room, Dad.
I didn't say that.
I heard you say Dad. Oh shit, am I hearing things now?
You might be, but anyway,
then,
yeah. So
after the guy leaves, as you said, he pulls back the portrait and what? That's a video screen, but this is World War One. That's anachronistic.
Yeah, get used to anachronisms because they're going to happen quite a bit.
And also, then Missy runs in and she's like, "Where's the doctor?" He's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Doctor Who.
Who indeed. I would say the first part's quite slow, but it is setting things up to really ramp up in pace, so I can forgive it.
Yeah.
You say ramp up in pace. I say writers got to eat.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna get into the full. It's actually kind of fucking like avant-garde genius the way they play Writers Got to Eat in this story.
I mean, they had 10 parts of 25 minutes to fill.
Yeah, but
I do think you could have cut this down to maybe 8, but they didn't.
I think you could have cut this down to 5.
Well, they had 10 parts to fill, so they were like, "Fuck it."
Of course, I say this keeping in mind that I have not watched the last 5 episodes, so maybe something major happens in that. I don't know. All I know is this could have been like really cut down.
You haven't seen it, and yes, it does, but we'll leave it at that until next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what Smythe says that also suggests that something odd is going on here. 1917 zone British sector. It's like the worst possible version of the Crystal Maze you could have.
He also says reinforcements are acting quiet, and there are at least 5,000 specimens.
Yeah, so something is up with this dude.
Yeah, this dude sucks. I wonder.
Oh, he really sucks. But
yeah,
he's also known as the Butcher.
Great.
Spoilers: he didn't get that name from cutting meat.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Butcher's quite a common name, isn't it, for generals, like historical generals?
Probably.
So, how does the general react to these 3 civilians? He has them arrested for being spies. Oops.
But of course. But so far we're in standard Doctor Who territory. Oh, these mysterious strangers are under suspect. Well, we better slowly try to gain these people's trust over the next couple episodes and solve the issue. Oh, wait. This person doesn't want any of that. He just wants to kill them.
Yep.
A lot.
Well, he is the Butcher.
A lot.
And there's a bit of a writer's got to eat moment here, but it's also kind of relevant to the plot because Captain Ransom, who's the guy that came in with the tea earlier and disturbed the general, has been told to take the prisoners to be interrogated by Smythe. And then he goes in there and the general's not around. So, all right, just take them to themselves instead till the general's ready for them. There's a lot of marching around, a lot of moving our trio around.
Left, right, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
I will say I kind of like that guy just because he's just so up in arms about making sure everybody stays in military step.
He's playing the type, but it works.
And Carstairs and Jennifer have a little talk, and they're like, hey, it's awfully weird that we specifically can't remember shit about shit.
Yeah. Jennifer's like, I don't know, is that where my hospital is that I was going to? And I can't remember what Carstairs says, but he's also struggling with his memory. What is amnesia? Is it A, memory loss, or 4, the Battle of Hastings? And then a wild idea, a wild concept happens because the court-martial is convened by General Smythe, who suddenly just turns up.
Before that, they're going.
Stuff.
You're forgetting a really important.
Oh, did I miss a bit?
You missed the bit with the glasses.
I was getting to that, but was there another bit with the glasses?
Yeah, there's the first bit with the glasses.
Oh yeah,
Ransom
I was asleep. You're right.
Yeah, Ransom comes in and he's like, "Oh, hey, General, I got the prisoners and they're in the cell." But it's a funny thing that when they first came here, I came into your quarters to inform you, but you weren't there. So what was up with that? That's actually very strange. And so Smythe puts on a pair of glasses and just goes, I was asleep. You were asleep. You saw me sleeping. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. These fucking glasses are like, if we're talking about writers gotta eat, this is their fucking all-you-can-eat buffet pass.
Hypnospecs.
Seriously.
These fucking glasses. Anytime anyone's like, I think we should trust these people so that the story can end and a reasonable get-along. He'll put on the glasses and go, no, they're spies. You need to kill them. We don't trust them.
And I don't want to talk too much crap about the actor.
Hey, Frez, you want me to make Rain really annoyed and make you really happy?
Oh, God.
Oh-ho.
These are the glasses of capitalism. Everything is wrong here. What is going on? And then capitalism puts on their glasses and it's like, no, everything is all right. Here's some money.
Why would I be annoyed by that?
You're usually annoyed by capitalism.
I'm annoyed by capitalism.
You think I'm a capitalist? Okay. All right. Let's just park that there. So, I mean, one of my favourite movies is They Live with Roddy Piper, but you do you. So,
You've got some good taste, Rainiac. Got some good taste.
I know. So the magic glasses then. And do get used to seeing this a lot. Also, I don't want to be too cruel towards the actor, Noel Coleman, but every time he's doing the hypnotism acting, it's laid on with a trowel. Like he really...
I'm more amused by the fact that the glasses are far, far too small for him and they look ridiculous on him.
I think that's kind of the idea, though, isn't it?
I know, but still, it's
The
really
funnier use of magic glasses is going to be a little later with a different character.
Yeah.
That's a
Another
lot
version
funnier
of
to
magic
me.
glasses on a different character.
We'll talk about that, but for now, the Doctor, Jamie, and Zoe are on
in court
under
martial.
court martial. Oh boy!
But you can't do that. We're civilians. This entire place is under court of the under
Martial law.
control of the military.
Martial law, yeah.
Martial law. Thank you.
Oh, don't worry, but you'll be allowed to defend yourselves.
Yeah.
So now the record shows that you commandeered this lady's ambulance and placed yourself behind British lines to get into a command post to try and find out everything. So what do you have to say for yourselves? Well, that's not true. I mean, if... yeah.
And then he's like, "Well, yes, you're obviously guilty. Quite obviously guilty."
No, it's like, well, can I ask her about what happened? No, it's a record. You don't need to ask her anything.
No. It's even better than that because he's like, "Can I talk to the witnesses and ask them their version of events?" And Smythe is like, "Of course you can." So the Doctor's like, "Jennifer, can you tell me about this?" And then the General's like, "Oh, she doesn't need to tell you anything. It's all right here."
Yeah. He shuts him down immediately.
You're allowed to defend yourself, but you're not allowed to ask anybody about your side of the story. So
what is this? A Phoenix Wright trial?
This is such a kangaroo court. It's about to hop away.
And then, of course, just to hammer it in, he puts on the glasses and gets to his fellow military tribunal guys and goes, "They're obviously spies. They're guilty. They need to be shot.
Yeah.
They're obviously spies.
This is the second
they're
time.
obviously spies. They're guilty."
This is the second time he hypnotized. The first time they don't know each other, and he's like, "You went to school together. Oh, how you doing?"
Yeah.
So whether or not they actually did go to school together and they just couldn't remember it, or that was a false memory, Well, I said we'll find out. It doesn't really matter.
Oh, like 15 minutes into the story, they're all found guilty of war crimes. Jamie, they think he's a deserter for the Scottish Army, so they're going to put him in military prison. So he gets sentenced to 10 years in prison, and the Doctor is going to be executed by a firing squad. Oh, very neat. Good. Okay, great.
So he's going to get 10 years in a penal colony, so I guess Australia.
Yeah.
In 1917.
Probably. Also, can I say this is the first time where sexism actually works in their favor?
Yeah.
Yay, sexism.
Yeah. Also, Jamie's punishment is to be sent to another court-martial. What? Now that's...
Honestly, isn't that the perfect punishment for Jamie, though? We're not going to have you fight in a war or do anything in the war. We're just going to have you deal with a whole bunch of bureaucrats, generals,
Yeah.
paperwork.
True.
So they're all locked away, but Zoe is left in the care of Jennifer. But after they both fall asleep, Zoe wakes up and sneaks around to try and find the key to the Doctor's cell. And while she's looking around in Smythe's office, she finds the little television screen behind the portrait and is like, "What the fuck?" But then she finds the key and heads down to break the Doctor out. And as they turn to leave, oh look, it's guards. Oh great.
There's also
It's dawn.
There's also a bit before that where he's talking to the sergeant major that's escorted him to the prison, and he can't remember how long he's been at the front either.
Yeah. But our episode 1 cliffhanger. Episode 1 is the Doctor is gonna get fucking executed by firing squad. And so he's tied up.
Seriously, they tie him to the pole, everybody takes aim, and then you hear a gunshot. And then
the Doctor flinches. And the Doctor flinches, and it cuts to black. Boo! And keep in mind, I'm pretty sure they would know in the papers, this is Patrick Troughton's final story.
I don't know if they knew it or not, but it is, yeah.
They might. They might have known. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Even though they're not as like hype about it in 1969 as they are these days, they probably knew Patrick Troughton was on the way out.
It
Probably.
still would have been a pretty big story, in my opinion. Also, I have one question: is this before or after the Time Lords became a thing?
Before.
Frez, did the Time Lords become a thing in this story?
I'm not saying nothing.
See, I have a theory, and I don't know
Mhm.
how right that theory is, just
Well, why
because
don't you?
I don't know when certain characters were introduced, but I'll wait until later to give it.
Yeah. Why don't we? Why don't you lay out your theory, Cat?
I can't because the character has not arrived yet.
I see.
Okay, so when the character arrives, you want to posit a theory. That's
Yes.
fine.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't want to give away what's going to happen any time in the war games that might,
I don't think he
give
shows up
away
until
what-
part 3, does he?
Yeah, I think if it's the character you're thinking, it's like part 3.
I mean, it can only be one
But,
character. But so how did the Doctor escape the firing squad? Well, he wasn't the one shot.
Yeah, but, it's a little bit of narrative cheat. We hear the shot, we see the Doctor flinch, but we don't see the Doctor get shot. Partly because you couldn't fucking do that in 1969 TV, but also it helps with the cliffhanger cheat of it wasn't the firing squad who shot. It was a sniper at the window who shot at the firing squad.
Yeah, he managed to wound one of the soldiers as part of the firing squad. Also, while this is going on, Zoe has been forced to watch the Doctor being shot. She's being grabbed by the arm by one of the soldiers. He then gets shot dead. So in all the chaos of the gunfire being exchanged, she gets to the Doctor, unties him, and they both get out of there.
Yay.
And then Magic Glasses reference number 4. He's talking to the video screen. He says, I'm going to the conference. Then Ransom comes in to interrupt him again. Like, what the hell are you doing, man? Out come the glasses. You never saw me. You never saw me. I never saw you.
Well, it's not just that. It's also the
It's
fact
even
that
better
there's
than
this
that.
big box in the room that wasn't there before.
It just kind of whooshed in out of nowhere.
What we
And
say
it's like-
materialized.
Familiar sound.
That's weird.
I was building up to this, but yes.
Well, you weren't building it up very well.
Ransom sees that and he's like, "What the fuck is that? You didn't see shit."
Well, he doesn't see it because he's been affected by the glasses.
Mm.
But yeah, we'll just mention it now. Smythe leaves in what appears to be a TARDIS.
Yeah.
It certainly sounds like a TARDIS.
Yeah.
And then this is wild. Jamie's got a cellmate.
Wait, I just thought of something really bad. I'm sorry, but do you guys remember Brandon from like the Lone Cyberman and everything?
Yeah.
What period of time was he from again?
Oh God, the Troubles. That'd been 19.
Oh my God.
I'd have to look that up.
Was it anywhere around the era of 1917?
I'm gonna look that up. Hang on. It could be because it might have been the Middle East Rising, which would be 1960. Oh my God.
My God.
Anyways, just sort of brushing past that and not thinking about that.
Hey, Rainier, talk about Jamie's cellmate.
Yeah, so Jamie's got a new cellmate.
It's a red coat.
Yeah, they just throw a red coat into his cell.
Good job, guys. Put 2 mortal enemies in there.
And Jamie's whole thing, of course, is that he's a Highlander, so he and the redcoats are mortal enemies.
Redcoat ain't too happy to see him too, but they managed to sort of work it out. And this redcoat seems to think that it's the year 1745, which would be fitting for a redcoat, but And he mentions that he was in the Highlands. He was wandering around, and then he got surrounded by mist. And then everything was all different. There were weird machines, and horseless carriages, and other gonzo shit.
It's okay, Frez. He's just a red coat. He won't be missed.
The Doctor, meanwhile, I love it.
It just says
This man rolled a...
It just says island in the past. So
Anyway, the doctor rolls a natural 20 on his deception checks for a while. Story?
I love this.
oh, when he storms into the captain's office.
No, even before that, the fucking car.
Oh yeah.
Where have you been? You were supposed to pick us up ages ago. How dare you keep us waiting? And the poor soldier's just like, what?
Who the hell are... Oh, okay, sir, I'll drive you to the prison. And so then the warden of the military prison is just, oh, thank you. I'll have my tea now. And as he's sipping his tea, the doctor bursts in, how dare you make me wait? Just,
Patrick Troughton is
love
having
this.
so much fun here, isn't he?
I love
Yeah.
it so much.
This scene is totally pointless and absolutely glorious at the same time.
writer's got to eat, but
I don't think this is right. He's got to eat now because his plan is to get Jamie out of there.
I mean, it kind of is, because eventually Jamie gets himself out, so there's really no reason for the doctor to do this. Other than,
Yeah, but Jamie didn't know this, so the doctor didn't know this.
No.
But he claims to be an examiner from the War Office. He's shouting at the captain angrily. It's a treat.
wonderful.
It really is a treat. But you mentioned that Jamie gets away.
I really do like this part, though. There's just like, the doctor's like, show me all the defenses, and how you're going to stop people from escaping. Obviously, to figure out how to get Jamie out. And the guy is showing him, and then like 0.5 seconds later, he picks up the phone. What do you mean they escaped?
What do you mean they're in the company of this man called the Master? What are you talking about? I'm not apologising.
I never asked you to.
Good. So,
Mostly because you're British, and the British never apologize.
so Jamie has escaped on his own then. Well, not quite on his own, but not with the Doctor's help.
He and the red coat.
He and the red coat stage a fight, basically. Which, this is a common trope
Yeah.
in scenes
That's a
like
good trope.
this. So they're like, you can't put me in here, you can't put me... They just punch the two guys that come in to break up the fight. So they're escaping. The alarm starts to go off in the captain's office. The doctor is still shouting at him. I'm surprised at this point he hasn't got a headache. And and then a shot rings out. The red coat is wounded in the leg. You don't see him again. Certainly not in parts 1 to 5 anyway, but you don't see him again. And then the captain is starting to get suspicious. So Zoe just hits him over the head with a vase.
The doctor gets one bit of belligerence too many. He's just like, okay, you know what? Fuck this. I'm calling General Smythe. We'll fucking see what's going on.
Yeah. Put me through the General Smash.
Yeah. And so with the face in the head. And so the doctor, Jamie, and Zoe have escaped. And as they leave, oh wait, they're soldiers.
This ransom guy, I swear he could teleport because he does this several times.
Yeah.
Just when somebody's
Jennifer
about to leave,
Carstairs.
here's Ransom and his soldiers.
Jennifer and Carstairs, meanwhile, are like, hey, did you find something a little off about that court-martial?
I mean, they're not wrong.
It was almost as if Smythe had already decided that they all had to be punished, and just bullshitted his way into getting the verdict he wanted. That's weird.
Very weird.
Extremely weird.
Wait a minute. That guy didn't remember that the court-martial was all bullshit. So what's going on here?
Hmm.
And then Jennifer starts remembering Mist,
Oh my.
just like the red coat.
Hey.
She drove around into the mist,
Mist.
and then she was here.
I drove through some mist, and it was a mediocre movie, but the ending was pretty fantastic. Horrifying, but fantastic.
Oh god.
5 out of 7.
Oh.
For once, somebody actually managed to make a Stephen King movie with a good ending. Sad ending, but it's a good ending.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. That's not how the story ends originally.
I know that's not how the story ends.
Yeah.
So Jennifer and Carstairs have decided that they're going to help the mysterious strangers, or at least they're going to find out what's going on from them. So Carstairs takes it upon himself to go and talk to the prisoners while Ransom is distracted by Lady Jennifer. And at one point, she just takes a phone call from the general that isn't the general, obviously, and she just sends Ransom to Command Post 17, and he doesn't question it.
Nope.
I mean, I know that's soldiers for you, that they obey their superior officers without question, or most of them do anyway.
Well, I mean, to be fair, this guy is also heavily brainwashed.
Yes. He's gotten the magical
Also,
suit several times.
I feel so sorry for him. I really
do
do.
as well, because he's the butt monkey.
He's trying so hard to make his general happy, and he just keeps failing.
This poor man
It's
just
not
wants to
his
do his
fault.
job. Unfortunately, his job is evil, but he doesn't know it's evil, but the overall scheme of things, it's evil. Because he doesn't know he's being manipulated like so many others. So, where are we now in my notes? Yeah, the screen. Pavlov's screen. Not Pavlov's, Schrodinger's screen. God damn it, Schrodinger's screen. Is it there or is it not? So they're like, well, we can prove to you our story. There's this video screen in Smythe's office. Let's go to Smythe's office. He lifts the painting. There's the screen. Jennifer and Costa look at it. What's there? I just see a blank wall. What? No, it's definitely there. You have to concentrate. So they concentrate, and it magically appears. Unfortunately,
it's almost like there's a perception filter there.
Unfortunately, Smythe is watching them on the other side of the screen.
What?
And the Dr. Candace senses this and says, "We have to go now."
Smythe is also there with like a dude wearing future goggles. That's weird.
Yes. I'm sure that
Silliest goggles I have ever seen in my entire life.
I'm sure that won't be explained at all. So, Ransom again gets the shaft here. So Carstairs is trying to get the prisoners out of the office. So he says he's going to take the prisoners with him, and the general has approved it. And Ransom again just doesn't question this. And as soon as they get out, it's like, right, book it in the ambulance. Lady Jennifer's waiting for you in the ambulance, and off they go. Unfortunately for them, at that moment, the TARDIS, not the Doctor's TARDIS, Smythe's TARDIS returns with the General in tow. And he orders an attack on the ambulance.
Ransom's like, but that's an ambulance, sir. Should we be blowing up civilians and women in a time? Talk to the glasses, buddy. Blow them to fuck. Right, sir? Blow them to fuck. So, so now the ambulance is getting fired upon. But, luckily for them, they hit the mist. They sort of fade away.
Yeah.
And reappear somewhere else. And when the Doctor and Jamie and Zoe climb up a ridge to see what they can see, they see... Holy shit! It's the ending to the 1965 film Doctor Who and the Daleks.
I knew you were going to make a reference to that.
Of course I was.
Also, Jennifer
good. More people that absolutely love the Scots. It's the Romans.
There's a bit that's Hadrian's Wall called. I think you're incorrect there, but I know you're joking. It's fine. Also, Jennifer can't drive the ambulance anymore. For some weird reason.
Yeah, she was starting to have a headache. I know why, but that won't come into play.
She drives into the mist, and when she returns from the mist, she can't drive it anymore. So the Doctor now has to take over. And they come to this clear field, as Jerry says, and it's like, oh, the guns have stopped. There's no weapons here. And then the Romans just charge at them. A chariot, an infantry, and this is a wild cliffhanger.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Christmas was December. Drop it.
No.
Think Fresness? What is this?
Christmas may be only once a year, but pigeons are forever.
Oh my
Oh
god.
god. Part 3 of the War Games.
Oh, now the really wild stuff starts to happen.
So, fuck. Get the car going. Get back into the mist.
Jennifer can suddenly drive the ambulance again because, of course.
There's an actual reason for this, and I will tell you later.
Yeah, there is a reason for it, but she gets it into reverse, and then it reverses through the mist, and then magically can drive forward again. Okay. And then poor Ransom gets the shaft again.
Poor guy.
They go back to headquarters. By now, Ransom is very suspicious because he was sent on a wild goose chase by Lady Jennifer, saying that the general ordered it. And then the general was acting strange. And then Carstairs has drawn his gun on him and ties him up in bandages. Poor guy, as you say.
He's just like, oh, the hell with this. I'm busy. Fucking.
So much for the tolerant
Time out.
lieutenant.
God damn it!
I have been waiting 40 minutes to make that joke, and it was worth it.
Yeah.
So,
I'm kind of glad I didn't hear the joke.
well, in that case, let me write it down for you. No, so much for the tolerant lieutenant.
Still didn't hear it.
Tactical muting of the headphones. Well done, Kat. So,
No, I mean, I legitimately could not understand.
the
a
best so
single thing
much
you
for
were
the
saying.
tolerant left joke, by the way, was the one where it was the Dalek being beaten up by his baseball bat.
Oh my god. We peaked in the dead planet?
So much for the tolerant left. Tenant. So,
So meanwhile...
Oh shit! You mean David Tennant's coming back?
I wasn't going to address this ridiculous rumor, but it is a ridiculous rumor.
Is it though? Is it?
Yes, it is.
It's an incredibly ridiculous rumor, and we're not going to entertain it, Frez. I don't care about when the show was good.
I'm making a statement now. David Tennant is not the 14th Doctor, and Denny Dyer is not the 14th Doctor.
I don't know who the hell that is.
EastEnders actor.
I see.
Sure.
So instead of talking about how the show is fully embracing Remember 2007 when the show was good by just fucking casting David Tennant again and trying to play this grotesque game of nostalgia pretend, let's talk about the Doctor safe cracking.
Oh, I love this. So they don't
We
find
need to
much
get-
in Smythe's office, but they do find a safe.
Yes, I think we've kind of skipped over this, but they basically figure out that anytime they go through the mist, they enter a different time zone. So the only maps that they have are of their current zone. So what they're trying to do is find a map of all the time zones, which they assume that somebody would have, and the best candidate would be Smythe.
Yeah, they're looking for a map, as you say. And
Oh,
maybe
they
there's a
find
map
the
in the
safe.
safe. So let's I don't know, let's blow up the safe and get into it. Right, Doctor. Carstairs leaves, returns with a goddamn hand grenade.
The Doctor performs surgery on the hand
Or a
grenade.
Mills bomb, as it's called. I think that's accurate to World War One slang.
I have no idea.
Either way, it's a fucking grenade, and the Doctor pulls the detonator out.
I think he says, well, that would be
Pulls out
good.
the
If we
fuse.
wanted to blow up the room, that's fantastic, but we just want to blow up the safe, so let me take this grenade and let me remove the gunpowder from it and pour it into the lock.
And then he takes a candle, and he pulls the wick out of the candle, and uses
Make a
that
longer
as a
fuse.
longer fuse.
That's cool.
Because
cute.
these grenades only have a time of about 4 seconds.
Yeah, so this would somewhat work, I think.
And unfortunately for them, there's some random army guys coming in to check up on things. And so Carstairs says to distract them while they've got fucking Ransom tied up.
Well, Ransom gets a call for help.
Yeah.
The bandages around his mouth slip a little bit, so he starts going, "Help! Help! I'm in here!" And the soldier hears it,
Well,
so he
So
comes
he's
in.
Well,
there.
he's also coming in because he found Jennifer and Zoe in the back of the ambulance. It was like,
Yeah.
weren't they looking for the ambulance that had like 2 women in it?
Yeah,
oh, he's just like, they're talking, and then all the while, the Doctor and Jamie are setting the fuse, and they're like, oh shit, there's still a guy outside. Oh, it's too late to put out the fuse now. Oh, duck. And this is as he's leaving, it's just like, oh well, cheerio, old chap. shuts the door.
Boom.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, and then Carstairs pulls his gun and he's tied up as well.
Yep.
I really like the little this it's almost like a who's on first moment between Carstairs and this random dude, because he's like, okay, thank you for bringing prisoners. I will watch them and you can go do whatever. No, I think I'll wait here for the general. That's fine.
Yeah.
No, you really don't have to. You can go. Really.
I insist. No, really, I insist.
No, really, get the fuck out.
But all that was in aid of was to find the map.
Which they do.
Yeah, the safe had the map in it, I think.
Yes.
The map was not blown to bits, which it probably would have been, but it was not blown to bits. And this really is the Crystal Maze, because you've got the map is divided into various time zones. You've got the Roman zone that they were in earlier, the 1917 zone, which they're in now, the American Civil War zone, which we haven't seen yet, and in the middle is the Crystal Dome. No, it's not. It's a blank space in the middle.
So that must be important, clearly.
Well, that's where they need to get to, says the Doctor.
And so they head off in their ambulance.
Trip.
It's a very short road
to
trip.
Only to get caught by the Germans.
Yeah.
And so now they're brought down into the German trenches to talk to a German officer who's like,
I'm gonna say this right now, folks. Get used to this. Not specifically the Germans, but the Doctor and his companions getting captured.
Yeah, getting captured and then interrogated by somebody.
I mean,
And
it's
then
the
thought
60s.
of the spies.
I mean, it's the 60s. This shit happened like 5 times in a 4-parter. Combine that with this, it's like there's approximately 3.69 captures per episode.
And you'll know this. Is this the first time that Troughton's Doctor specifically refers to himself as Dr. John Smith?
I don't think so.
Because I know that was a Pertwee thing.
I can't tell you at any time it happened previously, but I don't think this was the first time.
That was definitely a Pertwee thing.
It was very much a Pertwee thing, but
Is that a hint that it happens in an episode you can't talk about yet, or do you just?
No, that's a hint that I don't actually know when the fuck he said it.
No, he doesn't know if he said it or not.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah,
because both voices sound exactly the same.
Who can say for sure? But anyway, so the Doctor is finally just like, okay, fuck, you know what? We're from another planet and we time traveled into space. There, how do you like that truth, you asshole?
And the soldier quite naturally does not believe him, and then
you want proof? You want proof? How about an advanced alien device like this sonic screwdriver?
Give me your gun. Don't be ridiculous. No, just keep your hand on it. I'm not going to take it off you. So he points the sonic at the gun, and the screw comes up through the gun, and the guy is amazed by it.
Holy shit! He's using the sonic screwdriver as a fucking screwdriver.
I love it so much. Just it's actually being used as a screwdriver. That's amazing.
That might be a first.
Well, that's not the first, but it's one of the first.
But unfortunately, just as the soldier is about to believe their story and maybe, I don't know, even let them go, we have a superior come in.
And the superior pulls him aside and then puts on a monocle.
Magic
and
monocle
says,
alert!
These are British spies. They must be shot and killed.
Sorry, I just love this so much. It's so stupid.
He's not named here,
monocle.
but his name is Von Vyke. I have no idea if that translates to something. Oh, it does translate to something. I think it translates to weak or something.
That's actually a really funny joke.
Let me just check my.
I don't speak German, so
I'm just checking the translation now.
Okay.
See, I do speak a bit of German, but that's not a name. That's not a word I've come across anytime soon. Von Vyke.
Well, Google Translate makes it literally from soft, so
soft,
I would assume that it does mean
close
like
to
weak or soft.
From soft? Are you telling me this guy created Dark Souls?
Vyke means soft in German. Yes.
Please stop. Either way, the German commander comes out and is like, "You're British spies, and you're going to be shot and killed." And so the German general leaves, and the doctor's just like, "For fuck's sakes, we just told you that we're from another planet and we time traveled here. Let me show you the goddamn Sonic thing again."
But this time it's a ruse.
This time it's also kind of right. It's got to eat because they just show the same thing.
They just play the footage again, yes. But I mean, it is the 60s. Shows like this would renews footage all the time. I give you the Addams Family, and having the same shot of Uncle Fester crashing through the greenhouse every week on his motorcycle. And because that would be an expensive shot to
even places nowadays or in the days of color are guilty of this. I mean, look at Disney.
Yeah, but given that, it would be an expensive shot to shoot, Jackie Coogan smashing through glass on his motorcycle, and also, not to mention, dangerous for the actor, they just filmed it once and then invented an excuse for him to smash into the greenhouse every week. 67 Family was all right. John Astin was a great Gomez.
Yes.
Honestly, I never watched it. I only watched the movies.
Whereas Lurch showed up in Batman once.
What?
Yeah, not the actor playing Lurch. Lurch himself showed up in Batman.
Which Batman?
60s.
Oh, the 60s. Okay.
They would have a bit where Batman and Robin would climb up the side of a building, and then the window would open, and they would interact with either a celebrity or occasionally a character from another show.
In this case, it was Lurch.
It was Lurch. He just said, "You rang," and that was the end of the interaction. It was pointless, but also kind of cute.
Yeah. Okay. So, where are we in the war games now?
Well, they've just been told by von Veit that they need to be executed, but they've held the German soldier at gunpoint to escape, and then von Veit's got his own video screen, and he's talking to something called Central Control.
I'm done.
Which is where Smythe is. And here's this character I think Kat was talking about earlier.
Yes.
The mysterious individual.
Who is named in part 4 or 5.
I think it's 4, but
he's
right
the
now...
war chief.
Yeah, but right now he's just
chief.
the mysterious individual.
This is the fella you want to talk about. This is a very strange character, for sure.
Yes. I have a question, which you don't have to answer, but just to lay out my groundwork. Of course, if I am absolutely 100% wrong, then please absolutely do correct me.
Okay.
Is the introduction of the Master?
It's not the introduction
No, it's
of
not.
the Master.
It's not,
Okay,
and you're not the only one to think that. It's long been a theory that
feels very much like the Master would.
It's long been a theory by certain fans that the War Chief and the Master are one the same. They're not.
No. There's been no confirmation, so I mean, you can headcanon it if you want. Maybe, I don't know.
He may have been the basis for what the Master became, but
I mean, consider also that the story has the whole "look into my eyes, believe whatever I tell you" bullshit.
I could believe him as a proto-master.
The fact that the War Chief quite clearly has something else going on, and the fact that, I mean, look at him. His facial hair reminds me of Robert Delgado. I'm sorry, it just does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's a commonly, I wouldn't say commonly held theory, but I've heard of it enough times to warrant a mention.
Essentially.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't think it's true. I think you could say that he is the basis for the character that would become the Master. He's a proto-master, but the two characters are not the same person.
Yeah, yeah.
And he also knows the Doctor, this mysterious individual, this War Chief.
He wants to interrogate them instead of shooting them.
Yeah, he wants them alive. And
I mean,
like,
I don't think he knows the Doctor. At least that's not the impression I got. The impression I got was he heard that they were time travelers, and he's very interested in that.
Well, he says, I wonder if it could be.
And there's a bit in episode 4 that makes me think, and I haven't... That makes me think, it seems like they might know each other.
This will make more sense in the parts we haven't covered yet.
Yeah. But anyway, the ambulance crew has gotten away from the Germans, and they're driving into the American Civil War zone. And there's a tree on the road. And when they try to lift it, the fucking Confederates try to kill them.
Are they definitely the Confederates?
I have absolutely no idea. All the outfits are gray in this, so
I'm pretty sure in this scene I saw the Confederate flag flying at one point.
Fair enough.
So that's why I'm thinking that. But anyway, Carstairs shoots a whole bunch of fucking Southern racists.
Carstairs is a badass in this scene. So as soon as the gunfire starts, he just jumps out of the ambulance, takes position, and starts shooting them dead.
yes.
Then he has a fist fight with another one.
So many dead and punched racists.
Jamie gets in on the action. He fights off one of the Civil War soldiers, Confederates. The TARDIS crew manage to get back in the ambulance. Jennifer's still driving it. Carstairs says, "Leave me behind! Go! Go!"
What a badass.
Continues to shoot at the Confederates off screen. I salute this 100% badass.
I salute you. Shoot those racists.
Who we've also seen the actor before, by the way.
Have we?
Yeah, Claws of Axos.
Oh.
He's the scientist that gets disintegrated.
Oh. Interesting.
Was it Windsor? Professor Windsor? Yeah.
Yeah.
And also apparently was in the Five Doctors, but if he was, I missed him.
Who was he in the Five Doctors?
General somebody.
Some Time Lord. Or either a Time Lord or like a guy who's there for
No,
2
I think he was a
seconds
unit. I think he was a unit bod.
Like in 2 seconds in that Troughton part?
Quite possibly. Let's look him up.
That's the only unit part.
Carstairs is David Saville. Colonel Charles Crichton in the Five Doctors.
Right. Okay.
No idea who that is. Anyways, moving on.
I don't know who that is either. But
and we watched that story. I have a vague idea.
We've watched both of those, and I honestly do not remember him. So
anyway, the ambulance is out of gas now, so they have to walk.
More racist
And then we get an interesting scene that may come into thematic relevance later. It's Smythe and Von Vyke planning their military strategy. Oh, if I send my reinforcements here, they'll get your reinforcements. But my reinforcements have these anti-personnel guns, so you'll be got. Wait, that's not fair at all. No, but it will test the mettle of your forces, so it'll be a very interesting experiment, won't it? Yes, I see.
Wow, it's almost like this is some sort of war game.
He said it.
War games.
The line, fellas. Air horns.
I don't care if that's I don't care if that peaked the microphone. I had to pay tribute to William Regal. The fact he's out of a job now is bullshit.
If I had my soundboard, I could give us actual air horns, but
Us guys from Blackpool have to stick together. I've never actually met him. I'd love to meet him one day, but I've never actually met him.
No, but you met every single other fucking person that's in Doctor Who.
William Regal was not in Doctor Who, but yeah.
At the same place as they went to school.
William Regal was not in Doctor Who, nor did he go to my school. But apart from that, 10 out of 10. So
how about 7?
I already made that joke.
Yeah, well, I made it too.
And the war chief interrupts the war game, the little conversation between Smythe and Von Vyke. He says, "We've captured Carstairs off screen." Well, he didn't say off screen, but he said, he was captured off screen. We've caught him. He was in the American Civil War zone shooting Confederates. And they say, "Wow, the bravery of these humans."
Ooh.
Unfortunately, he's going to be reprocessed.
Yeah, shit.
Nothing good in the history of anything came from the words reprocessing. Except maybe plastic.
Green.
Except for hot dogs.
And maybe plastic. But
and maybe plastic.
Well, I mean, plastic is not exactly the greatest thing to ever exist. I learned that by watching Praxeus. Because, of course, that is the magnum opus that absolutely had to teach me about plastics. And no, I'm not still mad about that.
I mean reprocessing it to make it into something less harmful to the environment, but yes.
Where did you get that impression?
Anyway, our cliffhanger for part 3 isn't as great as some of the others.
What? Well, it's an interesting sort of thing.
They've stopped by a barn. Well, it's basically just to split everybody up. So they stopped by a barn because they've lost the ambulance now.
And out come and immaterializes
A
one of
TARDIS.
those cabinets.
Another TARDIS.
And it opens up, and a whole bunch of Civil War soldiers just start marching out of it.
Yeah, and these might be the oh god.
The North.
Yeah, it's the Confederates and the
Union.
Thank you.
Union
Troops.
Yeah. I mean, we're not
Finally.
Americans either. Finally, you get
my position as the token American comes into play.
Token
Hooray.
American.
So the Doctor and Zoe head inside.
Well,
the
you won't
machine.
admit to it, so you know.
I'm not though, am I?
Or are you?
How many years ago was the April Fool's joke? I regret everything.
Not long ago enough.
I regret everything.
The Doctor and Zoe hop into the thing, but then it closes shut and it dematerializes and vanishes, leaving Jamie and Jennifer stuck in the barn in the Civil War. Oh no! Anyway, episode 4.
Hey, episode 4.
I hope you appreciated that Top Gear joke. So, Jamie and Jennifer are very quickly caught by the Union.
The Yanks.
Actually, no, wait. Is it? No,
it's the Union.
Yeah, it's the Union. It's the Union.
It's the Union, and I absolutely hate this part.
I mean, given one of the soldiers that has captured them, this is absolutely the Union.
You hate this part? Why? Go on.
Well, I hate this part because, the Union does that whole thing where they're like, oh, these must be like enemy spies or whatever. They're English. They must be spies from the South, so we'll tie them up. And then the Confederates come in, chase out the Union, and save Jennifer and Jamie.
Oh yeah, that's
no. Really? You've got it the other way around. Apparently, according to TARDIS Wiki, at least, it's the Confederates that capture them, and the Northern forces that liberate them.
No, that is complete utter bullshit. Because the people who saved them reference the Yankees, and the Yankees were the fucking North.
Good job, TARDIS Wiki.
Thanks, TARDIS Wiki. But also, there's a lot
entirely villainous.
Also, there's a lot that happens in between.
Not remotely accurate.
There's a lot that happens in between them being captured by the Yankees and them being rescued by the Confederacy.
That I hate that so much.
But yeah,
and the worst part. I'm sorry, I have to go on about this because this shit is still happening, where people are parading around with the Confederate flags, and it pisses me off. But the fact that they made the Confederates so nice to them and said like, oh, it would be just like the Yanks to tie up such a lovely lady such as you, and it's like, fuck you. Fuck you.
And if I may reference current events, it pisses me off that the fucking Confederate flag is flying around Canada this very minute because of goddamn trucking protests.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
They're flying around Confederate flags and fucking swastikas and don't tread on me shit in goddamn military memorials protesting the fact that truckers had to be vaccinated.
Can't believe I have to say this, but the Confederates were the bad people.
I'm sorry, but
they were the bad people.
The best version of the Don't Tread on Me flag, and this offends anybody, sorry, but I'm not. It's just the little cartoon snake drawing with no steppy.
No step on Snick.
Yeah, that's it. No step on Snick.
All right. Anyway, to get away from that anger, fuck the Confederacy. To get away from that, we were kind of right to call these things TARDISes, these cabinets, because as the Doctor and Zoe discover, they're bigger on the inside. They're like, wow, this is just like the TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside. What's going on?
It's almost like I called them TARDISes for a reason.
Well, this is the other reason why I thought that the War Chief was the Master, just because it's like TARDIS technology, really.
Yeah, but also
Time Lords are involved somehow.
This strange, not quite a TARDIS, is filled with platoons of soldiers. There's an entire platoon of just frozen World War I German soldiers and a platoon of Roman soldiers. And then as they land, the Roman soldiers just march out, ready to go off to battle in the Roman zone.
Do we ever actually see who the Romans are fighting in the Roman zone?
Well, no, I don't know. It depends on what year it is.
I think they just picked. They just went to themselves. Who are people that are known for fighting a lot? The Romans, of course.
Yeah. I mean, you could put it at any fucking Roman war in history.
I mean, the Romans
Yeah.
were master
Really well.
tacticians.
Yeah.
They managed to beat a force of 100,000 Brits with just 10,000 Romans.
And so the Confederates, unfortunately, we got to go back to this shit. They save Jennifer and Jamie, and they're like, okay, well, we'll take care of you. And then fucking Von Vyke shows up in a Confederate uniform, puts on his magic monocle, and goes, "These are Yankee spies! They're to be shot and killed!"
Well, tied up, certainly, because remember that the war chief said, I want them alive.
Oh, yeah, tied. But, it's the same fucking thing that we've been doing over and over. Just as they're about to get out, it's just like, believe me, we're gonna get them. And it's just like, for the love of God, you monocle man. You monocle racist cosplaying man.
Yeah, he reports to the war chief. I think this is where we get the first name of his name being the war chief.
Yeah.
He's shouting at a scientist when the call comes in. He's like, "You idiot! 5% of our troops are experiencing resistance to the brainwashing. They'll cause resistance. They'll form a rebellion. We have to do something about this man." And the scientist, "Oh, don't worry about it. I've come up with a stronger form of brainwashing." Guess what? He hasn't. But
Anyway, the Doctor and Zoe arrive at home base, and Zoe has cleverly taken two of these weird goggles that everyone's wearing, and so she and the Doctor put them on to blend in as they go exploring around the base.
put the glasses on. Put them on.
You've just been reminded that they live again, haven't you?
Yeah.
So you're just excellent film, excellent fucking film. But I have come here to talk about the war games and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Okay.
I've come here to chew ass and kick bubblegum, and I'm all out of ass.
Okay,
They
Nukem.
live. Oh God, like half of Duke Nukem's quotes are just fucking they live quotes, honestly.
Yeah, because the developers had taste.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty good John
The
Carpenter movie.
developers had taste up until Duke Nukem Forever.
Okay,
Yeah,
the original
well.
developers had taste.
Anyway, another soldier, a black guy, lets Jennifer and Jamie go and tries to sneak them away, but then the Confederates catch them, and there's a little bit of a gunfight, and they get away. But then Mr. Von Vyke is like, "Ugh, God," it's like doing this fucking foghorn leghorn shit. And he's like, "You're going to tell me where they went?" He puts on his monocle. "You're going to tell me what I want to know." And the guy's like, "That shit don't work on me. Fuck off with your magic monocle bullshit."
And he tries
So
to sort of convince the other soldiers not to listen to him. It doesn't work. They are processed by Von Vyke.
I mean, to add to this, it doesn't help matters that he's a black man and these are Confederate soldiers.
I mean, yeah, and it doesn't help that Von Vyke really leans into it, and
This is what confused me about it, because did the Confederates, and I'm asking this like genuinely now, Kat, was there a history of the Confederates having black soldiers?
No, the Union did. Not a whole lot of them because they were still kind of racist, but they also felt that people should be free at the very least. But they didn't. The South didn't really have any black soldiers. They just mostly had people who were running away to the Union.
So you can see my confusion as to who these soldiers were, right?
Well, I mean, considering the people before them had dark gray uniforms and these guys have light gray uniforms, no.
I'm glad that you could tell that in black and white.
Well, yeah, because I knew for a fact that the Union usually wore blue while the Confederates wore light gray.
Okay.
history. The more you know.
And
Anyway,
then
here's
Jamie's got
Jamie
away
clubbing
from
the dude.
Oh God, this is amazing.
Here's Jamie clubbing a dude and stealing a fucking horse.
I'm on a horse.
There's a soldier. I think again it's a Confederate soldier. He's on a horse. He attacks Jamie with a sword.
I think this one was actually Union.
All right. Well, whoever it was,
Whoever was trying to kill Jamie, so he's just like, "Fuck this!"
he gets him off the horse with a trick. Jamie takes the horse, and then the soldier just shoots at him, but he gets away. Back to the Doctor and Zoe. Then they're just going exploring into where the totally not a TARDIS has taken them.
And they've noticed that there's like dorms and other places, so this is some sort of like training school for something.
Oh no, it's even worse than that. This is dun 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 Space College.
Oh no.
The space student loans are gonna bleed you dry.
Weeping in 40K.
Oh god.
We must purge the heretics and the Xenos.
We cannot forgive student loan debt because then line won't go up.
The Xenos cannot be trusted.
But anyway, a guard is just like,
that's
hey,
about the extent of my 40k knowledge. I apologize.
Well, I'm sad now.
Anyway, a guard is like, hey, you two, you're late for class. Get in there. Oh, they're like, okay. And they head in, and it's the guy.
You get into a lecture for free and not be caught, you fucking go to that lecture for free.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually did that once. NGL.
Good.
I'm convinced we had people just
Fuck capitalism and fucking inflation.
I'm convinced that Rain University, we would just have people just come into the lecture that weren't actually to do with the university because I never saw them before and never saw them again.
I honestly wonder if anyone could actually fucking do that. How long did they get away with that shit?
Probably once.
I did it once, exactly once. You know.
So
I just went with my roommate because he said the professor was funny. So
you didn't go to the university or the college, but you got into the lecture.
I just remember something fucking else that was really funny about that same. No, was it the same class? It was a different class, but they had a field trip, and I snuck my way onto the field trip by going with him. And do you want to know where the field trip was to?
Alaska.
Zim.
Where was it to?
Where was it to?
Zim.
I just heard Zim.
Yeah.
Prison.
You went to prison?
We toured prison.
Oh, it really was a prison.
Yeah.
Okay then.
All right, this is not a bit.
This is not a bit. This is not a joke. I toured prison.
When does your parole come up?
Parole? What now?
No, Frez, you're supposed to go to prison after you commit the YouTube crimes, not before.
Well, it's okay because if he does commit YouTube crimes, he's just an avatar now. So.
Hey, I got the VTuber class now.
Yeah.
Fuckers. So, at this lecture, the guy who was talking to the war chief about processing.
No, see, it's worse. It's worse than that, Rain, because now he's got to go to the virtual prison from K9.
Oh my god. Is that one of the ones that I skipped?
No, that was.
I don't know,
that
maybe.
was episode 2.
Oh my god.
We talked about this.
You probably did. That was like a year ago.
You got excited because there was a fish person in it.
Oh yeah! That prison!
I got to play the Ode to Joy.
You did! Oh yeah, now I remember this. So, talking about the lecture in the episode here by the guy who was talking to the war chief about processing, and he's like, okay, check out mine cool new reprocessing machine. Here we have Exhibit A resistant soldier, a Lieutenant Carstairs from the 1917 zone. Oh shit. We know that guy.
So he's alive.
Now everyone watch carefully and take notes as I brainwash this innocent man for our shared evil scheme.
And they make Carstairs believe he's in the trenches.
And then the freshly re-brainwashed Carstairs, he sees the Doctor and Zoe and he's like, German spies! They're German spies! They have to be shot and killed! Shot and killed! And he's like, okay, hey, calm down. And then the doctor once again gets a nat 20 on his deception rolls. He walks up and he's like, well, that was pretty shit. I mean, he thought it was a German spy. Oh, and he's just probably just a hangover of his 1917 stuff. And then the doctor gets this Professor Dumbass here to show him how to rewire the machine to deprocess people.
And he's like, oh, well, obviously it failed because you didn't deprocess him. How do you do that, by the way? I just,
Oh, it's easy. You just move this thing here. You just move this thing here, and they're like, technology is like, I think it's supposed to be messing with circuitry, but it just looks like they're rearranging fridge magnets.
I love this part. I
So
love it so much. It's like, all right, kid, it's time to play with the building blocks. Wait, shit, this really is Space College.
so back in the barn, there's a big fucking gunfight between the Union and the Confederacy,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Also, Jamie and
And-
Jennifer have been reunited at this point.
yeah, and things end with Von Wyk getting captured.
No, this
Bye.
isn't the Union versus the Confederacy. This is the Confederate soldiers against the Resistance.
Ah, you're
Yeah,
right, you're
yeah,
right, you're
yeah.
right.
And Harper's part
And
of
that's
that
why,
resistance.
and that's why they capture Von Wyk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, hell, I don't even remember what year the Civil War happened in. At the very least, I can tell when all this stuff is happening.
Well, it was over by 1865, wasn't it? Because that's when Lincoln was assassinated.
I don't fucking know.
I'm just gonna
Also, Lincoln was alive during the Civil War. It would have ended by the time that he got
yeah,
assassinated.
it was by 1865. It was over, I said, because that's when he got shot.
Uh,
He got shot as a direct result of the Civil War. Because John Wilkes
by an
Booth,
actor.
yeah, John Wilkes Booth was a supporter of the South, and when he shot him, he shouted "Freedom for the South" and ran away. And they were like, "That's not part of the play." Oh my God, the president's been killed.
Hey, you fucked up. Now you fucked up. You have fucked up now.
But my favorite, I'm just gonna go in a little bit of a segue here because I really enjoy this. My favorite interpretation of those events is someone said, imagine you're Liam Hemsworth, and you're just trying to, do your job, and then all of a sudden you hear one day that your brother, went out, shot the president, and shouted out something. And it's just like, yeah, I kind of feel bad for John Wilkes Booth's brother.
He had a brother then, did he?
Yes,
And Johnny really stepped in it this time.
who was also an actor.
Oh
And
God.
it's like, that poor guy.
So, this is an interesting thing that happens in the story. So the war chief comes in and is like, "Oh, what the fuck happened over here? How's your lecture going?" "Oh, it's going good. We processed the guy. He thought some people were German spies, but it's fine. It's fine. He thought two people over there were spies." And the doctor at this point is taking his goggles off for a bit, and the war chief and the doctor see each other, and they it's kind of like it's almost like it's either like that he recognizes, hey, that's not one of our guys, or
They look to
they
me,
recognize each other.
and I look at him.
I think they recognise each other.
Sweet Caroline, run, run, run.
Yeah, but the war chief's like, stop them. They do seem to recognise each other. It's not quite Spider-Man pointing at himself meme levels yet.
He's
Fuck,
just pointing.
this guy turns out to be an evil version of the Doctor. I'm going to throw so many fits.
He's just pointing out your pointing, which is different from normal pointing.
God bless Ibuki Miyoda.
But yeah, so in all the confusion, Carstairs breaks free. The Doctor and Zoe get separated, and Carstairs finds Zoe, and he's like, "You're a German spy. I have to shoot you." Oh no! Cliffhanger.
And they show the hammer about to go off on the gun.
Yeah. Part
It's
5.
not
For those
loaded.
who don't know, the hammer is the little hammery bit that hits the bullet and makes it go
Yeah.
boom.
Part 5. The
Thank
hammer is actually used.
Yeah, thank you, Kat. Yeah, the gun, it's not loaded, so he fires, doesn't
Thank
click.
goodness.
And the guards are like, "Okay, man, stand down. We're gonna capture this German spy. It's okay." And so they capture Zoe and take her away.
Oops.
Yeah, so the whole cliffhanger is, oh no, he's going to shoot Zoe. He does shoot at Zoe, but there's no bullet in the gun, so she's alright.
Finally, a villain who has the mental capacity to be able to disarm the hero. before they carry on with their evil plan.
I'm done. So, back at the barn then?
Yeah, the resistance base, the barn.
The barn.
You've got Harper and the leader of the resistance is Russell.
Yes.
And they're having a conversation, and they're questioning Von Veich, who's tied to a post at this point. And
he's, of course, not going to say anything because...
where do the new recruits come from? Which tunnel do they emerge from? It's not a tunnel, it's a craft. Quiet, Scots boy.
The big green box thing.
You know, the big green box that the viewers can totally see because everything's not in black and white. I guess you want immersion here, dudes, but I mean...
And then we have an argument like, let's kill the general, let's not do that, let's keep him alive so we can interrogate him. No, let's kill the general. Well, let's punch you in the face then, buddy. Forget you.
Yeah, and this is where, if you had the soundboard... Ba, 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 ba.
Proving that Jerry does not listen to the podcast after I put them up, because I put that in the edit last week.
Good for you.
And can do it again if needs be here.
Good on you.
You mock me in my dire time of need where I don't even have my soundboard.
I'm not mocking you. I'm going to put it in for you.
Not you, him.
Oh.
I'm mad at him for once, not you.
I look down on him, so...
Well, you're British, so you do that anyway.
No, it's a Frost report. It's a John Cleese and two Ronnies. Anyway.
Well, you're British, so you do that anyways.
Right, fight, kiss.
I'm just impressed that Jerry knew about the two Ronnies and John Cleese sketch. I didn't know that had made it to North America, but I'm pleased it did. So now it's time for Zoe to be interrogated. There's a lot of interrogation scenes in the war games.
I just want to point out the end of the fight.
Oh yeah, the monitor.
Because fucking Von Veich, while they're fighting, almost sneaks up to the video phone to call for help, but they catch him and they're like, no, nobody. But anyway, Zoe. Now this is interesting.
Yeah, this is also horrifying.
Horrifying, but also comical. The fucking walls here look like some Austin Powers bullshit.
Da 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 da.
And
oh my gosh, Von Veich does actually look a little bit like Dr. Evil too.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's got the scar.
He's even got the scar.
I mean, Dr. Evil is a Blofeld parody, so yeah.
Well, yeah, that would work. 1969, that would fucking work. Holy shit.
I love it. I love it so much.
So we meet a new character, the security chief.
They've not got the most imaginative of names, these guys.
Yeah. And he's going to interrogate Zoe using the silliest helmet ever seen.
This guy got the raw end of the deal when it came to brainwashing equipment. Smile gets small glasses. Von Veich gets a monocle, which is cool as hell. Security chief, a helmet.
You want to talk fucking Monty Python jokes? This man is from the Ministry of Silly Hats.
I knew it! It's some guy in a helmet!
But yeah, he's interrogating, and apparently it's like a mind controlling helmet that makes you tell the truth because everything is fucking brainwashing with these bozos.
Zoe cannot lie underneath it, yeah.
And he basically gets out of her. She can't help but give the plot away. What time do you come from? The 21st century. Oh, you don't come from the 21st century. There's no 21st century zone. Where do you come from? When were you born? The 21st century?
Yeah, and she can't lie under the influence of the helmet, so...
And she eventually tells them all about the TARDIS and all. It's like, time travel. It's very interesting.
And the security chief does something interesting here.
Yeah.
He doesn't let on that he knows about this to his superiors.
It's almost as if he has an evil scheme of his own.
Well, it's not just an evil scheme, it's that he is suspicious of his boss.
Yes.
But when they do have a conversation...
Meanwhile,
of
the
his.
doctor has once again rolled a 20 on his deception check. He
Man, he's
wanders
just doing
in.
great today.
He wanders into the room where the professor and Carstairs is, and the guy's like, "Hey, you're the intruder." "What? Me? I'm not the intruder. No, it was that girl. She was the intruder." "Well, why'd you run away?" I was trying to catch her."
And the guy actually
Oh,
falls for
okay.
it somewhat.
Oh, okay. And he's playing with the machine, and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" "I'm deprocessing the soldier, just like you suggested." "Oh, well, it's really nice. Can I help?" "I'd rather you not." "Well, can I just stand and watch your brilliance?" And he's trying to get information about what their plan is, so the guy's just like, "Well, you know the plan. The same as all of us, you know? So, there's no need to tell you otherwise."
And
But
then this scientist dude makes this one big mistake. He tells the doctor to strap him down.
which he does poorly.
Let me just strap into
Barely.
this chair, wink, wink.
Nudge, nudge, say no more.
And so Carstairs gets deprocessed and he immediately looks over and he's like, "Oh, doctor, it's you. Hey, shit, you are an intruder." And they fucking shove this guy onto the chair and put him in the goddamn brain blaster and incapacitate him and get away.
But they do turn it down so it doesn't outright blast him. But
I love the way the doctor goes, "We'll put him at a simmer."
yeah,
Simmer.
lightly cooked scientist.
God almighty.
If you can't make your own scientist, store-bought is fine.
We're just gonna put this scientist on like a slow cooker, 6 to 8 on low, until tender.
This is where we get that culmination of the security chief being suspicious of the war chief because he's beamed pictures into Zoe's brain directly. And
Of the
they are
resistant members.
they are the resistance leaders, and she doesn't recognize a single one of them. And she's now out cold because she's been processed by this helmet. And then the war chief asks, what did she say? "Oh, she's from 1917. Okay.
He's not telling about the TARDIS shit. Interesting.
Very interesting. It's almost like
Very.
he has an agenda or something. Then the alarm goes
Also,
off.
evil people have an agenda?
Then the alarm goes off. Again, getting used to that happening. They both go off to investigate. They just about miss the Doctor and Carstairs. Which enables them to take
Thankfully, by the way, it's all right now.
I think
Meanwhile,
He's still a lieutenant, but he's all right now.
very, very good. Very good.
But meanwhile, back at the barn, they unfortunately let Von Veik touch the video phone again, and he sends out a signal, just a blank emergency signal to the home base. So, uh-oh.
In fact, that's the reason why the war chief and the scientist, or well, not the scientist, but the security chief left.
Yes,
Because they heard the
we
alarm.
we kind of told that in the wrong order, but yes, that's the reason why the alarm went off.
Right. But the Doctor and Carstairs, meanwhile, have made it to the security chief's office, and they're rescuing Zoe, and the Doctor starts playing with the funny helmet.
Of course, you have to.
And the Doctor
As
gets
you
an
do.
idea. Oh, who are these people on this helmet? Oh, they're the resistance leaders. Say, if we got them all together and mobilized them, we could get them to fight back.
Viva la revolution!
Viva la revolution!
Fuck you, Pluto! Oh wait, no, I got that wrong. Viva la Pluto, fuck you!
And
Beautiful.
the
Sounds better the
security
other way,
chief
doesn't
has discovered there's no response from the Civil War, so he's like, well, we'll have to send soldiers. But not,
Yeah.
process soldiers, brainwash soldiers, our own soldiers.
Look at them in their fucking diving suits with meter-long fucking ray guns.
And leather gimp masks.
Jeez. And
Someone's
so
got
they,
a fetish.
Am I wrong?
of course, they have
No.
a fetish. They're hypnotizing people left and right. These people are kinksters, full out.
So I'm not wrong then.
No, you're not wrong.
And
Yeah, I don't mean to kink shame, but also I'm going to kink shame. Like, what the fuck?
in the barn, because the guards have gone off to go inside one of these TARDIS machines to get to the American Civil War zone. So Zoe, the Doctor, and Carstairs narrowly avoid them again, and then they hear this noise. Is like, what's going to happen? Oh, they're going to send a machine, says Jamie. Yeah, here comes the dematerialization sound. Everyone hides. The guards pour out of the machine. Poor Harper is killed.
Black dude dies first.
The black dude dies first.
He just gets fucking ray gunned.
Why did they pick on him specifically?
Because he was the first guy to jump out.
Oh right, so it was a natural reaction.
Yeah.
Because he's black and it's the 60s.
I mean, other than that, obviously. No, you can draw a blank on that one. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's draw a line under that, please.
Anyway, but then the other soldiers managed to capture these war goons. So, no one else has to die. That's something.
Just the black guy.
And back at the home base, we get some interesting theorizing and talk from the security chief.
This guy needs a better name that's not quite as hard to remember.
The security chief?
Well, you've got the war chief, the security chief.
Yeah.
There's somebody else I can't mention yet.
Well, we can mention them in a second, I think, because that's part of this. But there's...
We will address the security chief as Schrodinger because nobody knows if he's actually protecting the place or not.
Either way, he's wondering, how did the war chief recognize that mysterious doctor? And he also mentions that without the war chief's knowledge, this evil scheme of theirs would not have been possible. And he says, if you have any complaints, you can take them up with the warlord.
I will.
Yeah.
But also he says to the professor guy, because he's not saying it to the war chief. He's like, but the war chief is the guy who gave us space-time travel. So what was that girl on about then? I mean, we don't know about this doctor because the war chief is an alien, unlike us. He's a traitor to his people. Who knows where his loyalties lie?
Do you see why I thought it was the master?
Absolutely.
I see why you thought this was the master.
Again, as I say, you're not the first person to think that up.
I mean,
yes, you said that and you guys understand, but the people at home might not have understood until now.
Yeah. I mean, just think about it.
People at home, you understand what she's saying. Just smile and nod. Wait, that's not going to work.
A menacing guy with a beard, working with people who can hypnotize people, who's a traitor to his people, who has access to space-time technology, and seems to recognize the doctor. Yeah, I can see why you thought this was the master.
If he escapes at the end, I'm just going to call him the master, and that's going to be it.
But,
I don't care who the fuck he is.
We get our Part 5 cliffhanger, and where we're going to call it for now. Jamie and a bunch of other resistance soldiers take a ride in the proto-TARDIS, whatever the fuck we're calling it. And they head to the home base. But as they're landing, a goddamn firing squad is ready for them. And this is the Doctor and Zoe and Carstairs watch from hiding. Jamie and Co. head out, and every single one of them just gets gunned down and falls to the floor.
Including Jamie.
Including Jamie.
To be continued!
I didn't do this intentionally, but this is an amazing way to end the podcast.
And wow, it's like we're actually treating this episode the same way people in 1969 would have had to. We don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. We gotta wait a week to find out.
It's the perfect time to cut this off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how are we cutting this off when we're not summarizing the entire show?
I would suggest we don't do an overall thoughts till next week. Because you've only got half the story to go off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know Jerry knows what's going on, and I haven't know what's going on mostly, but Kat does not.
Yeah, so
I don't know shit.
I'm not gonna let any cats out of any bags about where the rest of the story goes.
Hi-oh!
But I don't want to be in the bag.
Oh my.
Ow.
Let the cat out of the bag and onto the bed.
So, join us next time for the exciting conclusion to the War Games.
Okay, Rain, I know what you meant because I know what you told me about Lloyd, but also the way you said that sounded really sus.
I didn't mean you.
Oh
I
my
meant
God.
actual cats.
I know, but
Actual fluffy cats, like the one that doesn't belong to me that decided to sleep on my bed for 3 hours.
Steal that cat, not this cat.
well, I mean, if you want to steal me and adopt me, I'd be fine with that because free healthcare.
That would be very, very creepy if I adopted you.
3 words: green card marriage.
That's not an adoption, though, is it?
No, that's...
You'd adopt me into your culture?
True.
This is a cup of tea.
I have a fucking kettle. I put the tea bag in first, and I pour the water over the top. There you go. I'm perfect for England.
Actually, I would say you've got that right.
Beautiful.
Some people put the tea bag in first, some people put it in second. The people who put it in second are wrong.
Next time, Wargame 6 to 10. Rainiac, where can you find us lovely people?
You can find us on Twitter at ReviewsDoctor. I'm at Rainiac the Maniac. Cat's at Concave Usurper. And the newest VTuber superstar, Freezing Inferno, is at Freezing Inferno. Cat sometimes streams video games.
You can buy Back to the 11th Hour by Kristen McTeague on Amazon.com. And hey, isn't part 2 of that book coming out, Frez?
Soon. I think it's dropping in April.
Did we call that
Part
Back
two-
to
Back to the 11th Hour 2?
Is that Back to
covering
the
Series
11th Hour
6?
then, or is that too much of a mouthful?
I don't know.
Is she just saying it's part 2? Because that's probably quicker and easier.
Part 2, yeah. Something, I don't know.
Buy Back to the 11th Hour parts 1 and 2.
Yes.
When 2 comes
that.
out, yes. But yes, do that. I was going to get there, but you got there first, and I respect that, honestly. So, Cat sometimes streams video games at twitch.tv/Concave Usurper. Jerry now sometimes streams video games at twitch.tv/Freezing Inferno, or rather, his VTuber alter ego streams video games.
Really? Alter egos. You know, it's all the same facet of me.
Yeah, I know.
Brainiac does not stream games, so he is therefore a user.
Yes.
I'm a what?
But also,
I'm a user?
But also, you can check out my YouTube channel, YouTube/Freezing Infernos with an S, because Freezing Inferno was taken fucking 14 years ago whenever I made that, for some highlights of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Highlights that made Rainiac say, well, I'm never dueling him!
I didn't say never, I just said I was ducking you.
You're ducking scared of me, more like.
I mean, yeah, let's go with that. So,
say goodnight, Rainiac.
Don't be a whip. I went up against him. I lost.
I just haven't.
Went up
I'm not
him.
being a whip. I just haven't formed a deck yet.
Wimp.
And I was told not to make a Blue Eyes deck, so I've still not been able to form a deck yet.
Oh, you'll find
Sounds
something.
like a personal problem.
I might go with Ojamas.
Ojamas are pretty.
That sounds just gonzo enough to work.
Yeah,
But say goodnight,
I
Rainiac.
like Ojamas. Say goodnight, Rainiac. Good night, Rainiac. And join us next time. I like how I said your bit and my bit together. And join us next time for the exciting conclusion to the War Games, episodes 6 to 10. Until then, bye for now.
I want a spring wedding, so then it'll match the color of my green card.
Anything for you, honey.
As long as I get my invite to the wedding.
At least it won't be a red wedding.
This is all going in at the edit and you can't stop me.